we got on the 9th day, and we got also on the 10th day, Jaise Purnima ke din. So he just claims 12 to 18, but we got 8th day also, 9th day also, and 10th day also. And but we not only that, we have got on the very first day when he talks that this was Amavasya, and according to him, there should be an analogy of no moon, but we have got very first day the analogy of full moon. Vishnu ji Purn Chandra ke saman prakashit ho rahe the. So if you take his analogy equals astronomical observation scheme, then there was full moon on the day 1, day 8, day 9, 10, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18. Every day is full moon. Do you see how absurd that is? And this is what he claims as proof. So what it is basically all part of a strategy to fool people by claiming hundreds of corroboration. Beat them by the numbers if they dare challenge you. And that brings us to very important point. It's about intellectual honesty. This is the third part, as you said, and the final part of this series of presentation. I'll start by sharing my presentation. We have already talked about the topic for this talk. This talk is dedicated to late Professor B.N. Narhari Achar, and I'll discuss later how this happened. This we have already seen about my education and professional experience. So what we have done is we have gone through two parts. So the first part was the refutation of the dating for Arundhati walking ahead of Vasisht. So what this is a summary, 4 points. So Mr. Nilesh Oak has claimed that Mahabharata could not have taken place outside of 11,091 BCE and 4,508 BCE. So this is the time period within which this had to happen, because this was the time, according to him, when Arundhati was ahead of Vasisht. Now, based upon if we take this, then the Arundhati was ahead of Vasisht already for 5,530 years when Mahabharata took place, according to him, and still ahead for another 1,053 years after the Mahabharata war in his timeline. But if I went through all the instances of Arundhati in Mahabharata, and we saw that Arundhati is not shown walking ahead of Vasisht anywhere else in Mahabharata, even though she was ahead for so long before and after. Then we went into the technical details, and we saw that the maximum distance along declination, so that's where Arundhati and Vasisht stars are, because if we calculate just from the longitude, our age, then it gives a wrong picture. It exaggerates it, but the distance has to be taken where they are. And over there, the maximum was only 3.5 arc minutes between the whole time period. And the human eye cannot separate two stars that are less than 5.5 arc minutes apart. So so what you have basically is you have in a software, you see all these things, but if somebody was watching, they will not be able to see them ahead, because only in the software you can see ahead. It's beyond the detection limit of human eye. And finally, we have seen that the whole claim of this period, when these calculations are based upon taking exactly the numbers that are shown in the software. But every astronomy software has its own errors. And we saw that those errors are much higher than what we are trying to measure. And that invalidates the whole determination of this period of Arundhati walking ahead of Vasisht. And in the second part, we discussed whether the planetary positions detailed in the Mahabharata match with the positions in 5561 BC. And there were 3 parts of that examination. One was the position of the comets. And here I have shown that those positions given by software are meaningless, because theoretically, we cannot calculate anything beyond 100 years. So 5,561 BC, over 7,500 years, the positions of comets given by any software are garbage. And similarly, we saw then the positions of the moon. That's relevant for eclipses, let's say. And those are also meaningless beyond 2000 years because we cannot validate the position of moon beyond the 2000 years, even though software will show you. Software will always show you something, but you got to know whether there is meaning to it or not. And then finally, we went through, we also saw that for the Vakri motion, we already know that the standard definition of it is retrograde motion, and that matches with the word Vakri itself. But Mr. Oak has arbitrarily defined it. And since he defines it, that has never been before defined like that, then it cannot be claimed as corroboration. And finally, we saw that for the planets also, they are repetitive. So we cannot claim that, okay, if some positions match, then that fixes the date. And as well, we talked about a lot about the reliability of the software. And since Mr. Oak has used the Voyager 4.5 software, and that software maker itself, and I showed the screenshot, that they are not accurate beyond 500 BC. So obviously you cannot apply that software 5,000 years before that time. And so overall, we saw that there was no clinching evidence for Mahabharat war to have taken place in 5561 BC. So these two parts, they were examining the book on the dating of Mahabharat war by Mr. Oak. And in this talk, we are going to discuss his second book related to the dating of Mahabharat war, and that is on the Bhishma Nirvan, for which he has said that there is an epoch of Bhishma Nirvan, and Bhishma Nirvan could not have taken place beyond that time, just like he had for Arundhati and Vasisht. So this is the claim that has been made by Mr. Oak. And so there are two parts of this claim. So this is the first part, and it says calculations based on the lower and upper limits for the first and 10th day of war, coupled with lower and upper durations for Bhishma on the bed of arrows. This set of evidence provides us with 4700 BCE to 7000 BCE as the interval for the epoch of Bhishma Nirvan. So basically, if the Bhishma Nirvan took place between this time, 4700 BCE to 7000 BCE, then Mahabharata war could not have taken place outside this time. So that's the way he fixes it, and then he thinks that it matches his other dating of 5561 BCE. So that's one part of the claim. And then the second part is this. Calculations based on the lunar month of Margashira coinciding with the first half of the Sarath season. This set of evidence provides us with 5642 BCE as the mean year for the chronology of the Mahabharata war, and hence the epoch of Bhishma Nirvan. So you can see that he claims that this evidence fixes the date to about 5642 BCE, matches well with his 5561 BCE, and he thinks that everything is consistent and it's all proven. So now we are going to start the refutation with refuting this claim itself. So he claims that the Margashira and Pos were in the Sarath season. Now we know that these occur in the Hemant season because Ashwin and Kartik fall in the Sarath season. But he says that during the time of Mahabharata, the Margashira and Pos were in the Sarath season. And this is what he writes. And I've given reference everywhere. So this is on page 64 of the book, Bhishma Nirvan. And he says, the war descriptions of the first 10 days of the war have numerous references to Sarath season. So he says that the war is taking place and there are numerous references to the Sarath season. And then he lists them. So Oak then lists 24 verses, and these are on pages 65 to 69. So everyone is, I'm giving all the references you can check from the Mahabharata, from his books, and it's all given by page numbers. So pages 65 to 69, he lists the 24 verses that he claims that is a description of Sarath season. Now what he has done, he has only given the Sanskrit verses in his book. So he's not given any translation. So if the people are reading this book, and most people don't know Sanskrit, so they will just take it as a fact that, okay, Mahabharata has got all these 24 verses description of the Sarath season. So what I have done here, and it's a very, very time consuming process to go through each one of them. So I have gone through each one of them, and I will show them all these 24 verses that are given on these pages 65 to 69 with the Gita Press translation. So you can see that to yourself. And here I list them. The first one, and you can see here everything I have gone through, Bhishma Parv 17.28. And it's what I say here. Sharad Ritu ke badlon ke saman shobha pati thi, like the season. And you go to the second one, Sharad Ritu mein tarikaon se vibhosit akash ki bhanti. Again, it's like Sharad season. Go to the third one, and शरद ऋतु में बादल पर्वत के शिखर पर जल की धाराएं गिरती, जैसे, start with जैसे, like. And then you go to the fourth one, and शरद ऋतु के बादल की भांति, like. Every one of them is like, is an analogy. We go to the fifth one, and the fifth one is interesting. So he has given both of them. So you know that the Mahabharata, we have got the Gita Press version, and we have got the critical edition by Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute. And some, in many cases, they differ a little bit. So you can see here in the body edition, the critical edition is 16th verse, and in the Gita Press is the 17th. In the 16th, it says Sharad Eve, like Sharad. But if you go to the Gita Press, it says Pravrish Eve, so like rainy season. And you can see that in the translation, Mano Varsha Ritu mein, like the rainy season. So the critical edition has Sharad, but Gita Press has got rainy season. And still he claims, even in the analogy, that this is the proof of Sharad season. And he should have said at that time that the Gita Press is saying Varsha Ritu, rainy season, but he didn't. Then we go to the sixth one. And again, we have a problem here. In the critical edition, it says Sharad Eve, so like Sharad. But if you go to the Gita Press edition, there it says Navsiv, like sky. And you can see also in the translation, it says Akash mein prakashit hone walo. So you got that, you have got a variation. The Gita Press does not support even the analogy of Sharad, and he does not say that, he just claims it based upon the critical edition. And then we continue, seventh, Sharad Ritu ki sandhya ke saman. We go to the eighth one, Sharad Ritu ke achadit akash ke saman, analogy, seventh and eighth. And you go ninth and 10th, and the same thing. Jaise Varsa Kal par bitne, jaise, start with jaise, like, and the 10th one. And what I have done here, this is important that we catalog everything. So I can just go through, and you can see that each one of them, it will be available in the, when it is posted on the YouTube, and you will be able to see then and check each one of them, 11th and 12th, and you see that that each one of them is an analogy. You can see that the 12th one, Sharad Kal ke dopahar ke tejasvi, Surj ki bhanti. You know that bhanti, like. And then 13th, make Sharad Kal Megh ke saman, like. Go to the 14th, jaise Sharad Ritu ke nirmal akash mein, like Sharad season. Go to the 15th, and you see that again, same, Sharad Kal Megho ki bhanti. You go to the 16th, and you see that Sharad Kal in akash ke saman, like Sharad. How can you think that this is description of Sharad season? The 17th, and here you see again, जान पड़ता है कि शरद ऋतु के नक्षत्र की मालाओं से अलंकृत है. So it's all analogies. And we go to the 18th one, and these are all the ones that he has listed in his book. Again, शरद ऋतु के बादलों से ढके हुए आकाश के समान. Go to the 19th one, जैसे शरद ऋतु के बादलों, like शरद season. And 20th, शरद ऋतु के निर्जल मेघ की भांति, like Sharad season. 21st, again we have got the same, Sharad Kal Akash ki bhanti. Got the 22nd, jaise Sharad Ritu, like Sharad season. 23rd, jaise Sharad Kal mein, like Sharad season. 24th, Sharad Kal ke Chandma ki bhanti, like Sharad season. So these are the 24 that he claims describe Sharad season, and each one of them is an analogy. So all these 24 verses are analogies, and it is absurd to consider them as proof of Sharad season. So now what I have done is I have taken all these verses, and you know that we have got the 18 Parvs in Mahabharata, 18 books of Mahabharata, and these are from Bhishma Parv, so just before the war. to the Striperb after the war. And that's why he says that the war was happening during the Sarad season. So what I did is that if we are going to have an analogy, and these are like massive, so these are like thousands of pages. You know that we have got 100,000 verses in Mahabharata. So I went through this Bhisma Parv to a Striperb, because he's saying that okay, these analogies are astronomical observations, you have to take them. I mean, it is so absurd. And he goes on. So I went through that, all these Bhisma Parv to a Striperb, to see if there are analogies of other seasons there or not. Now that's a massive amount of time to go through all of them. So obviously I did not check like each one of them. I went very, very fast, trying to just to find out other analogies. So what I did, I have found he claims 24 verses for analogies of Sarad. I am giving you here 58 verses for seasons that are not Sarad, from the same books, all the way from Bhisma Parv to Striperb. And of course, there are going to be much more than that, because I'm not trying to like find out each one of them. There is no point to it. I'm just showing you 24 verses 58. So here I show you the analogies of other seasons. The seasons other than Sarad are plenty between the same parvs of Bhisma Parv to Striperb. And here I again see that everything has been painstakingly noted down. I note down the Bhisma Parv, I note down the verses, everything, copy these from the Gita Press. It's like months of time to try to do that. And you see here, this one, Bhisma Parv, I say that Vasant Ritu mein khile hue pushpon ke saman. So here you have analogy of Vasant season. Another one, second one, Mano Gishma Ritu ke ant mein. You got analogy of summer season. Then you have got third one, analogy of summer season. You have got fourth one, analogy of summer season, and still in the Bhisma Parv. Then we go to the fifth one. We have got analogy of summer season, Grishma Ritu, and we have got sixth one, analogy of summer season. And then we go to the seventh one, analogy of rainy season, Varsa Kal mein, Jaise Varsa Kal mein. You got eighth one, Jaise Varsa Kal mein, Jaise Varsa Ritu mein, analogy of rainy season. Then we have got another one here, Jaise Varsa Ritu mein, and we are still in the Bhisma Parv. And then you have got the 10th one, Mano Vasant Ritu mein, like the spring season. We got 11th one, and here we have got Jaise Varsa Ritu mein, like rainy season. 12th, still in the Bhisma Parv, Jaise Varsa Ritu mein, like in rainy season. 13th one, Jaise Varsa Ritu mein, like rainy season. And we go to the 14th one, Vasant Ritu mein, so like spring season. Then we have got Jaise Vasant Ritu mein, like spring season, still in the Bhisma Parv. Now again we have got rainy season, Jaise Varsa Ritu mein, and then we have got Grishma Ritu ke ant mein. So we got so many of them, not about Sarad season. Obviously it won't be. These are analogies. There will be all types. And then we have got 18th, Jaise Varsa Ritu mein. We got 19th, Jaise Grishma Ritu mein. Got 20th, Jaise Varsa Kal mein. And we go on and on. 21st, Mano Varsa Ritu mein, like rainy season. 22nd, like rainy season. 23rd, like summer season. 24th, like rainy season. 25th, and we have got Varsa Kal mein, like rainy season. 26th, like rainy season. And 27th, now we are in the Dron Parv, Jaise Varsa Ritu mein, like rainy season. Vasant Ritu mein khile hue, like spring season in 28th. 29th, we have got like rainy season, Jaise Varsa Ritu mein. 30th, we have got Jaise Shishir Ritu mein. So now we got the winter season analogy as well. Then we have got Jaise Varsa Ritu mein, like rainy season, and Varsa Kal, again rainy season. So you can see that there are plenty of analogies of other seasons. Jaise Varsa Kal mein, 33rd, and still in the Dron Parv, Vasant Ritu mein, spring season. And here you have got again Varsa Kal, rainy season. You'll see that they will occur randomly. The analogies will occur randomly. You cannot just claim that this is all Sarad season. And Mano Varsa ke, so we got another rainy season. 37th, Jaise Varsa Kal mein, 38th, Jaise Varsa Kal mein, both rainy season. 39th, and here we have Varsa Kal ke Megh ki bhanti, like rainy season. And 40th. And this is, see here, So I have produced here 26th, 27th, and 28th verses of Mahabharat Dron Parv 180.2628. And see here the 26, 27 has got analogy of Sarad season, Jaise Sarad Ritu. And but the 28th right after is Jaise Varsa Kal mein, like rainy season. So what has he done? Mr. Oak has done that he has taken the first one, 26, 27th. This analogy of Sarad season has been claimed. And you can see, check that on page 67 of his book. But right after that is rainy season. And obviously he must have seen it and he has not reported it. And then we go to the 41st example, like Jaise Grishma Ritu, like summer season. 42nd, Jaise Varsa Kal, like rainy season. 43rd, Jaise Varsa Kal, like rainy season. 44th, Jaise Varsa Kal, like rainy season. Now we are in the current Parv. And then we continue. 45th, Varsa Kal ke Megh ki bhanti, like rainy season. 46th, Mano Varsa Kal mein, like rainy season. 47th, Jaise Varsa Kal mein, like rainy season. 48th, Jaise Varsa Ritu mein, like rainy season. 49th, and we got Varsa Kal mein and rainy season. And 58th, you got same in the current Parv. You have got rainy season one day, same day, and same day you will have the spring season as well, if you consider the analogy is astronomical evidence. And the 51st is still in the current Parv. Now we've got Varsa Kal, rainy season, and then got 52nd, Mano Grishma Ritu, so Grishma Ritu, summer season, and then again summer season, Jaise Grishma Ritu mein, in the current Parv. 54, Jaise Varsa Ritu, like rainy season. 55th, Jaise Vasant Ritu mein, like a spring season. And 56th is Vasant Ritu. So we got spring season, and 7th, Varsa Ritu, so we got rainy season. And we go to the Stri Parv, Jaise Grishma Ritu mein, like summer season. So you can see that I have given plenty of verses that talk about analogy of all different seasons. And this raises a very important question about Mr. Oak's research. So does not Mr. Oak know that there are numerous analogies of other seasons in the same books of the Mahabharata from where he has collected the analogies of Sarad season? Now, does he not know that he has obligation to present this information to the readers? This is not a choice. When you are doing a research, you have to present all the conflicting information. Not doing so constitutes intellectual dishonesty. So now we go to this, he talks about all these seasons shifting. So we go to, I present you evidence that in the Mahabharata or during the Mahabharata times in different books or different scriptures also, they all talk about standard seasons and months. There is no evidence of any shifting of seasons. And so this shifting of seasons is the main point for the dating by Mr. Oak. And here you see that he says, this is one of his tweets screenshot, and he says that the effect of precession on the correspondence between seasons and lunar months. And he says that they shift by plus minus 1 month. No, there is an error of plus minus 1 month due to Adhik Mas. And here he gives you between 1500 BCE to 500 CE. And you can bottom see that there are seasons, Vasant, Grishma, Varsa, and beyond, under each of the seasons, he has listed the months. So like in the Vasant, Chaitra and Vesak. That's how we know the season. These are the standard seasons. Chaitra and Vesak falling in Vasant, Jyeshtha and Asad falling in Grishma, then Shravan and Bhadrapad falling in rainy season. This is the way the standard seasons are. And he says that these occurred between 1500 BCE to 500 CE. Beyond that time, these months shift from the seasons according to his thesis. And so since his dating of Mahabharata is 7500 years ago, he says that the seasons and months had shifted by 2 months. And here you see that. So he then claims like Vasant consisted of Jyeshtha and Asar, Grishma consisted of Shravan and Bhadrapad. So he said that Shravan and Bhadrapad were in Grishma. And this Ashwin and Kartik were in Varsa instead of the Sarad season. So like they have all shifted by 2 months. So you can claim whatever you want. You have a theory. But where is the evidence for it? If the Mahabharata happened and this theory is right, then Mahabharata will describe it as such. But we have seen already that all his proof of Sarad season are bogus. And so this is the basis of it, his claim. And this was originally proposed by Vartak. We had discussed this earlier when I did his refutation of Ramayana dating. And he claims that because of the precession of equinoxes, every 2000 years, you have got a shift of seasons and months by 1 month. And so this was dealt very comprehensively, why this is bogus, why this is wrong, when I discussed the 12,000 refutation of 12,209 BCE dating on Sangam Talks itself. And this is the reference under it, dating of Ramayana part 2. And you can, the listeners, readers can go there and check it. So basically here, we see here, I'm giving you proof from the Mahabharata. So he talks about all analogies. Here is the real observation. Mahabharata 3.182.16, Gita Press, you see that, produce the verse, produce the translation. जन्मेजय उनके वहीं रहते समय पर्व की संधि में वेला में कार्तिक की शरद पूर्णिमा की परम पूर्णिमय रात्रि आई. See that how clearly it says Kartik ki Sharad Purnima. Obviously, the Kartik was in Sharad season, just the way we have it. It's not like according to his theory. And then the second one, it says that we got 12.171.18. विशेषतः कार्तिक की पूर्णिमा को जबकि शरद ऋतु की समाप्ति होती है. Can you get any clearer than that? That the Kartik Mass was in the Sharad season. Then I'll show you some other references from other scriptures. And here in the Vishnu Puran, and here you see that Varsa Ritu mein Bhadrapad Krishna Ashtami. So that also is describing the timing of Mahabharata, it's Lord Krishna. And there it's saying that the Bhadrapad was in Varsa Ritu. Can't be any clearer than that. And then we go to the Harivans. And you see that if you go to the 10th chapter in the Vishnu Parv, and it says that, so the heading here produced is the Varsa Ritu ka Varnan, is the description of rainy season. And if you go to the 32nd verse of that, Harivans Vishnu Parv 10.32, so the exact reference and the translation, and it says Shravan Mas mein. So the whole, the 10th subsection is the description of Varsa Ritu, and it says that Shravan Mas. So clearly shows that the Shravan Mas was in Varsa Ritu. Shravan was just like the way we have it. But what happens? Mr. Oak has come on the Sangam Talks. He gave a talk. It was titled Yug Purush Krishna. And in that talk, he talked about this being in the summer season instead of the rainy season. And what he gave as a proof what I call dried cow dung logic. So he says that there are numerous descriptions of summer seasons. And because they are describing dried cow dung, since it is a dried cow dung, so that's the summer season. But in the same place, we have that it talks about the Varsa Ritu and Shravan Mas, and which he did not tell the clear description. He did not tell to the reader, and he gives this bogus logic. So now we come to the Bhisma Nirvan timeline. That's the most important part of his book. And here we have shown this before. One part was the Marxists in the Sharad season, and second part is this. And that is based upon how many days Bhisma was on the bed of arrows. It says that calculations based on the lower and upper limits for the first and 10th day of war, coupled with lower and upper durations for Bhisma on the bed of arrows, this set of evidence provides us with 4700 BCE to 7000 BCE. So this is what he has calculated based upon number of days Bhisma was lying on the bed of arrows. And he says that it was 92 plus days. But if we take that 92 plus days, first of all, this contradicts what Mr. Oak has been saying, has calculated himself. Because he says that when that Shravan and Bhadrapad were in Varsa season, then the timing has to be 1500 BCE to 500 CE. Now he has claimed that the Marxist was in Sharad season, but I have shown that that's bogus. And I have shown that the months described in Mahabharata are exactly the way this configuration is. And then it is got to be 1500 BCE to 500 CE in his own scheme of things. And then he says that there is an uncertainty of plus minus 1 month. So he applies his uncertainty to add plus minus 2000 years. So if we do that, then the Mahabharata has to be dated from 3500 BCE to 2500 CE. And if you look at this whole range of 6000 years, you know that this whole scheme of things is useless for dating any ancient text. If you have a 6000 year span, what use is it for dating? But also, there is clear evidence in the Mahabharata itself against 92 plus days. So what we have, I'm showing here, is the Mahabharata has got some contradictions. Obviously, those have to be worked out. So the one timeline, and I'm saying here is timeline 1, and that says that 58 days on the bed of arrows. And we have a clear-cut written text for that. And here we have this in the Anusasan Parv, 167.27.28. And in this, Bhisma himself is saying, in तीखे अग्र भाग के वाले वानों की सैया पर सैन करते हुए आज मुझे 58 दिन हो गए. So it is 58 days he has been lying on the bed of arrows. And it is about time now that Uttarayan has come, the sun has started going north, it's time for him to go. So he himself has calculated and told us it is 58 days. So now that Dachinayan Samatva, because he has said that he will only leave when his body, when sun becomes Uttarayan, sun goes to north, and he says that that time has come and I have been on the bed of arrows for 58 days. So that's the timeline 1. Now there's we have a timeline 2, which Mr. Oak has said. I mean, it's also in the Mahabharata. So we accept all the evidence. So he says that. But this is timeline 2. We have got conflicting evidence. So this 92 plus days, and this one explains his reasoning that Bhisma falls on the 10th day, and the war ends in 18th day. So he's there on, say, 9 days. Then after 1 month, return to Hastinapur. So that's 27 days to 30 days, depending upon what the months are. Then they live there for a few days. And then this is important. So Krishna then meets Bhisma. And then there is Bhisma preaches to Yudhishthir for 6 days. Then they go back, and then they come back after 50 days. So we have got all these calculated that Bhisma is on the bed of arrows for 92 plus days. And here I present what the main evidence is for that. And there is the evidence, Santi Parv 51.14, and in which Lord Krishna is telling Bhisma that now he has got 56 days left. And then we have got the second evidence that is consistent with that, 167.56, and he says that 50 रात तक उस उत्तम नगर में निवास करने के बाद, so after Yudhishthir comes back, after Bhisma has preached him, that he has stayed for 50 days and then gone back to meet him. So there's 50 days and there are 56 days, 6 days of preaching. So those are consistent. But if you look at that, so now that we have got 2 conflicting set of observations, now we got to analyze like which one we are going to believe, which one we should take. So if we go to this 92 plus days, and so we here have these Santi Parv 46.20 and 23. And in this one, Yudhishthir is told by Lord Krishna that he should go and he should meet Bhisma and learn from him. And if you read that, then you see that there is some kind of urgency that Bhisma is going to die soon. And if you don't go, then you are going to miss it. So you got to go soon. And then this is again told by Yudhishthir in reply that Surj ke Uttarayan hote hi, as soon as the sun turns north, then Bhisma is going to leave his body, and he should definitely, you should definitely see him. So the whole import is, you can see that that this is like imminent. It's not like 56 days away. Like there will be no rush in that kind. And we have got exact statement to that also, right when Bhisma is talking to Yudhishthir. And then it is said that ab Surj ke Dachinayan mein rahne ke thode hi din se. And Yudhishthir is saying that only few days are left. And then why would Yudhishthir say that only few days are left if like over 50 days are still left for Bhisma Nirvana? So what we have is we have got 2 sets of conflicting evidence. And how do we decide which one is correct? We have shown you like few verses that go against this timeline of 92 plus days. So how do we settle that? So, but Oak has a way of settling this. He just will claim that there are hundreds of verses in support of his timeline. And that's the way he settles all the arguments. Here are some screenshots. And he says, folks, read my Bhisma Nirvana to understand why this claim of Bhisma passing away during Magh Shukla 8 is falsified by 100:2 evidence. So he tells you that I've got 100 evidence, you got only 2. another one of his tweet, selective cherry picking of evidence 2 out of 300 plus to suit second millennium BC. So here he claims that he has got 300 plus evidence, others have got only just selected 2. So it's just like preponderance of evidence, hundreds of evidence against your couple of them. How can you match me? And that is what Mr. Oak plays, is what I call the numbers game. So what he claims is that hundreds of these corroborations. And this is again, I've taken this screenshot from one of his presentations on Sangam Talks. And here he claims over 215 astronomical observations references in Mahabharata. And he gives you, but they don't even total to 215. AB observation 1. So that one I have refuted in part 1. And then it claims Sarad as season 27 plus. But he listed 24 in Vishnu Nirvan, and I showed you all of them are bogus. They are all analogies. So we refuted that today. And this Nirvan that will be refuting today. And we have got phases and positions of the moon and planetary positions that we refuted in part 2. So solar and lunar eclipses that was refuted in part 2. See that all of these, none of them stand to the scrutiny. So let's see, he talks about these phases of moon, and he has claimed like 28 plus corroborations. So let's discuss that. What are these moon phases corroborations? So for this one, I'll go through one of his talks that he gave on Satyology channel. And it was titled Phases and Positions of the Moon during 18 days of the Mahabharata war. And in this talk, if you go to time 29 minutes, here he claims that Mahabharata has descriptions of full moon from day 12 to day 18 of Mahabharata war. And then he gives you the references to that. So let's see. And here is his proof. 12th day of war, Purnima. He says that these are our full moon descriptions. Purn Chandrama ke saman, like full moon. Same thing he does with the season, same he does with the phases of the moon. He claims analogies as proofs. So here we have got 12th day, and here we have got for the 13th day, his proof, Purn Chandrama ke saman, like full moon. For 16th day, his proof of full moon is Ve Mastak Purn Chandrama or Surya ke saman, like full moon. His 16th day proof of full moon is Purn Chandra Tulya, like equivalent to full moon. And another one on the 17th, Purn Chandrama ke saman. You see that here, the Mahabharata descriptions of this full moon are about many times about the head that has been cut in the war. Now the head has been cut full, so it's description of full moon. If the head has been split in half, they would have described it differently. You cannot claim that as proof of full moon. And same here, for his 17th day more, Purn Chandrama ke saman, like full moon. On the 18th, we have got Purn Chandrama ke saman, again, like full moon. And Jaise, you start with Jaise, like Purn Chandra Mandal, so like full moon. And then after the war also he says, and then again you have got Purn Chandrama ki bhanti inke mukh ki kanti, like full moon. And again, Purn Chandrama ki bhanti, like full moon. So all the evidence that he presents of this full moon are analogies. Now he claims there are full moon analogies from day 12 to day 18. But I went through again, it's very time consuming, go through Mahabharata is like a huge volume, is very large to go through. But I just was checking for this full moon description on other days. So let's see what I found. So you got the day 8 itself. On the 8th day, Jaise Purnima ko, like full moon. So we have got description of full moon analogy on 8th day as well. And then we have got the 9th day also. Purnima ke din, Vayu ke thapayorong ke saman. So like full moon. We got on the 9th day. And we got also on the 10th day, Jaise Purnima ke din. So he just claims 12 to 18, but we got 8th day also, 9th day also, and 10th day also. And but we not only that, we have got on the very first day when he talks that this was Amavasya, and according to him there should be an analogy of no moon, but we have got very first day the analogy of full moon. Vishnu ji Purn Chandrama ke saman prakashit ho rahe the. So if you take his analogy equals astronomical observation scheme, then there was full moon on the day 1, day 8, day 9, 10, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18. Every day is full moon. Do you see how absurd that is? And this is what he claims as proof. So what it is basically all part of a strategy to fool people by claiming hundreds of corroboration. Beat them by the numbers if they dare challenge you. And that brings us to very important point, is about intellectual honesty. So what constitutes intellectual honesty? We have got a good description of it from the Scale University in India. I've given the reference. And this talks about intellectual honesty, that we have a moral duty to be honest. That's just like you apply honesty. Intellectual honesty is about the intellectual matters, honesty in these matters. And this is important when we share ideas that can inform or persuade people. Intellectual honesty combines good faith with the primary motivation towards seeking true beliefs. So we are trying to seek the truth. We don't want to fool people because they don't know better. They don't have the expertise. And this intellectual honesty is honesty in the acquisition, analysis, and transmission of the ideas. And this is what is important. So 4 important points for intellectual honesty, and I have highlighted here 2 of them. And this, I mean, it's well known. Anybody who does research knows this by heart. This is what they teach you in the graduate school. I do PhD. I know how important this is to be honest. I'll never say anything that I know is not true. I never say that, never persuade people. I've done all this just for the pursuance of truth, because people are being misled. I have to spend so much of my time, like more than 2 years now. And see here, the relevant facts and information are not purposefully omitted when such things may contradict one's hypothesis. That's intellectual honesty. And I have shown you that he has omitted it. He has claimed 24 verses for Sharad, and he has omitted more than 58 that are not Sharad season. You see that the facts are presented in an unbiased manner and not twisted to give misleading impressions to support one view over another. Now you can go through that, my Ramayana talk, and where I showed that like he's just twisting all the information all the time. He just thinks that he can persuade people, and he can, I mean, they are often just totally opposite. He will claim things which are totally opposite, like we showed there in the Ramayana talk also. And here you see that, and not only in his presentation, his intellectual dishonesty goes everywhere. Even in this talk that he gave, and it was like a big talk, MSRD, with Dr. Abhay Jere, Chief Innovation Officer. And look at it. He claims himself Dr. Nilesh Oak. But you cannot claim doctor unless you are a medical doctor or you have a PhD. But he's neither a medical doctor, he's not a PhD. And he claims, he writes himself Dr. Nilesh Oak. So now we come to like, why this reputation? And I have shown that these talks have been dedicated to Professor Narhari Achar. So what happened, and that's like over 4 years now. In 2018, Mr. Oak published an article in Pragyata claiming to refute Professor Achar's dating of Mahabharat war. And he dated it to 3061 BC. And at the bottom of it, there is this line that he has quoted: delusion follows from words that have no correspondence with reality. And that kind of really hurt me. So because like most Indic researchers, I had great respect for Professor Achar, who pioneered the use of astronomy software for the dating of Mahabharat. And at the time when it was written, Professor Achar was 79-year-old. So what kind of person will insult a 79-year-old reputed professor? Because our whole civilizational ethos is Vidya Dadati Vinayam. If you have got the knowledge, you got to have humility. But you cannot be like this. Like, what kind of person will do that? Now, for me, myself, like since my childhood, I have great respect for all the people who are doing Indic research. I have great respect. If you are doing research, you have my respect. But here, I was like totally hurt. And because of that, I decided to look at the claims that Mr. Oak was making. So if he had not insulted Professor Achar, I would not probably have taken this up. Like the time is precious, and just reputation itself. I mean, to go through all the references, everything, to think about it, what he's saying, whether it is true or not, why it is wrong. It takes a long time. And this was like 2018. And I wanted to then check it, but I could not do it immediately because I was busy with my own work. I was doing work on astronomy, Vedic astronomy and Jain astronomy. I published 5 papers, 2019, 2020. So only about 2020 October, when I have published my books and the paper, then I got time to look into it. So since October of 2020 to now, we are into December. So more than 2 years, 2 year, 2 months, I have been looking at his claims. So it's a long time, so much of time needed to just debunk the false claims. And when I did that, I discovered is that unprecedented research fraud that's aimed at fooling gullible people who have no expertise in the subject matter. And but even more concerning than that is that Mr. Oak is blatantly misinterpreting our scriptures. See, that if we are going to date the scriptures, they have to conform to the sacred text. Text cannot be perverted to conform to the dating. And that's what he does everywhere. He changes the season of birth of Lord Krishna. He makes it into the summer season from the rainy season. Same with everything. Like he thinks that everything opposite, even opposite, dramatically opposite, he will claim it as corroboration. He just enabling people into believing wrong things, and that has to be countered. And that's why I have taken so much of my time to do this. Because what we have at stake is the integrity of the Indic knowledge system. And that's I know because that's what I have done my whole life. Like I have devoted it to understand my civilization. And because it has taken a lot to preserve it. No other civilization, nowhere in the world has been able to survive the onslaught, all the things that have happened to our civilization. So it's really important that we preserve them. And what I found that it's unbelievable that one man can do so much damage to our knowledge system in just a few years. And we got to prevent that. And we have to think like what prevents unscrupulous scholars from taking gullible Hindus for a ride. We need to have a system that stops these kind of dishonest people from taking people for a ride. We need to encourage the people who are doing honest research. And then I like to point out that I have no problem with people claiming different things. I mean, as long as people will have their own interpretations. They may be wrong. There's nothing wrong in being wrong. It is just that you should not do it purposefully, just to benefit yourself.
Sir, what do you think would be the ulterior motive of other scholars who have, in your words, shown intellectual dishonesty toward the dating of Mahabharat and other texts?
See, there are different kind of motivations. There could be obviously monetary motivation. People could be benefiting from it. A lot of donations come if you do this kind of work. There other could be just getting fame. Some people want fame. Obviously, that gives you fame. Those are the two basic motivations, not in this field, but many other fields.